Tell me, Taylor, when you get a cancer diagnosis, you've got to have a lot of people around you to help you through the cancer diagnosis. Just tell me, what impact did your support network have on your cancer journey?
Oh, a huge, huge impact. So, I think something that was really unique for me was that my friends and families still tried to do things that they knew were important to me, or things that I loved. So one thing that happened is that everybody knows that I love a type of chip.
A type of chip?
Yes.
Like Pringles chips?
Doritos.
Which ones?
Cool Ranch. And in moderation. But they would, I actually left the hospital with 17 bags of blue Doritos because everybody, they didn't talk or know that they were doing that, but everybody that came to visit brought that as kind of a gift. Another thing that I think was really unique is that my mom found somebody in the hospital that was offering a ministry basically to come and wash my hair. And so I had really long platinum blonde hair, and it was like a bird's nest. And so it was just matted from not being able to get up and walk and brush it. And so this man came to the bedside and washed my hair for me. And that just was such a blessing for me because it made me feel better. And something as small as that somebody in my family thought would be helpful for me was such a gift and a blessing. So I think finding small things like that seem like not really a big deal, but really shows the patient that they care, that was important for me.
And then your sister was very important to your support network, right? So what was your kind of conversation with her? How did she help you, get you through? Not that I want you to choose, who's your favorite brother or sister.
No.
But how did she, help you, walk you through help you, support you through your cancer journey?
So we call her my empathy buddy. So anytime I was feeling down, she felt down with me. So, if I was having a bad day, she'd get in the bed with me and have a bad day with me. And, she had done a lot of research about patients that are going through this, and one of the things that she had found was that oftentimes patients can feel very isolated and alone. And so she just made it a point to make sure that at no point in time did I ever feel alone. And so that was really incredible.
Empathy buddy, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that Richard? Is that a normal term? What do you use? And tell me about how important is it to build a support team like this?
Yeah, and Taylor has a lot of great tools already, and empathy buddy is something I'm going to use in the future when I work with people. Building tools goes back to, or supports goes back to communication, I'm going to say. And communication almost always starts in the home. And recognizing that a healthy dose of denial is not inappropriate for many people. And there is a time that then the emotional ramifications of what they're going through comes to the surface. Is, as a social worker, a lot of times we identify right away that although one person gets cancer, their whole social and family and work network is affected by it to varying degrees. So to the degree, and one, that people always have control over who they share it with and who they don't. And in multicultural societies, I'm very sensitive to the fact that some people come from societies that you don't share it. And there's other reasons for not. But all the literature, all the studies for the most part, suggests that opening it up, starting with your family, even young children, age appropriate. 5- and 6-year-olds don't need to know it's cancer, but they need to know that mommy or dad or sister's sick. And within that, you also open the opportunity for people to be honest and ask questions. And then that extends beyond, definitely with your healthcare team. You could role model that with the healthcare team. So building communication helps you really build a solid network.
So you have support groups, right? There's circles. First is your friends and family, immediate friends and family. So what other support groups can be there for patients to use, Richard? What do you help them with? Like outside the immediate friends and family, what others, do you tell them to engage with their healthcare provider? What other, what do you tell your patients?
Sure. Very important. Organizations like Cancer Care, and there's a number of them out there, either have patient navigators, or nurses or social workers are often doing patient navigating. We run online face-to-face and telephone groups, and many organizations do, especially in this day and age. One, that cancer has become a chronic illness, so that people are often very busy. And in my patient groups, the biggest complaint in the last 5 years has been, Everybody I talk to doesn't believe I have cancer because I look so normal. So groups really give them the place to talk to people who actually understand what they're going through. I don't care how loving their family is. Their family can't completely understand what it's like to be fatigued. Even in a general patient group, I always say when people say, well, they have a worse cancer, they have a harder cancer, their treatment's worse, I say, you all heard the words, you have cancer. And those 3 words are going to change your life and your perception on life, from mortality to health to opportunities and all of those things. And across that, that's what's helpful. And sometimes people don't want to get into a group. They don't want to hear a lot of other stories, but they want to talk to somebody else who has a similar cancer and how did they get through it.
Taylor, did you ever reach out, or would you recommend then, now going through your experience, if you did not reach out, would you recommend patients to now reach out to groups?
Yeah, so I did try to connect with people, but unfortunately there wasn't a whole lot of people my age that had been through what I'd been through. So every time I connected, it was always with somebody a little bit older, and I felt like a lot of my issues were related to
spring break,
to
you
my,
know?
yeah,
Like,
my
bother about spring
age,
break.
right, and not necessarily unique to just my diagnosis. So I did try to connect, but I absolutely think that it's important that patients seek out resources and education, and that's why, you know, your Cancer Game Plan is such a great kind of portal, is because it gives tips of how to communicate, when to communicate, and puts patients in touch with other resources that might help them along the way.
So that would be other patients, other support groups, just other online resources?
Yes, absolutely.
Could I say too, just
Yes.
to build on what Taylor said, we cover all cancers in all ages, and cancer still is overwhelmingly a disease of older age, over 60. And as Taylor said, and being on the young edge of young adults, isolation is one of the hardest things that many of them deal with, because their peers, it's very hard to find peers who understand or go through it or are even dealing with the healthcare system. So it's a bigger issue.